Okay, hey y'all, welcome back to another video with Life of Chances for Beyond the Gates, May 15, 2025. Okay, y'all, so first things first, let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Okay, so my thing is, first of all, I thought it was illegal to record somebody. I thought it was illegal to do that. Not only that, she didn't really say nothing. She gave specific details, but I was like, okay, Kat, now only the person who did it will be able to tell you stuff like that, right? Because Kat did tell Dana, she was saying how, that's very specific, because she was saying how she ran, how she told her to imagine, Laura on the road and stuff like that, then somebody on the bike, and she was just giving a very detailed, and I was like, Kat, the only way she would know that specifically is if she did it. But I say, you know what, you know who Kat remind me of? Kat remind me of Lulu in regards to Brooklyn. She blamed Brooklyn for everything, just like Kat blamed Eva for everything. Hey, how you doing? But yeah, on today's episode, we're gonna start with Derek and Ashley. So she was just laying there or whatever, and then they started. I say, we all know what this leading to. She still want Andre. But they was arguing. He made comments about the shower. She made What did she say? I think she said something about he leave clothes or something everywhere, and they was just going back and forth. I think he wanted to have breakfast with her, and that's when she said she gonna have breakfast with Naomi. They had this thing that they do. You wouldn't know that because you just moved in. I think he was drinking out the orange juice carton, and then she just stared at him, and I was like, But by the end of the episode, he ended up confiding in Jacob. She ended up confiding in Naomi, and they were just talking about everything. But he ended up coming at the end of their scene. He brought her a teddy bear or whatever. She ended up leaving it on the doggone counter. I bet Leslie was wearing evil boot when riding that motorcycle. Yeah, that's the same thing I said. Because was it Chelsea or Kat that mentioned it? They mentioned it. They mentioned something else. I forgot to write it down, y'all. But yeah, she definitely did. I said, she finna go to jail. She finna get locked up. But that just means that they're gonna have to prove that she's innocent. But when Kat and Chelsea was talking about that, I definitely said the same thing. I said she's about to set her up. She about to set her up. But yeah, to finish with Ashley and Derek, he ended up saying he think he found a solution. He said they could just find a bigger space, and he couldn't. I said, Derek, read the room, Derek. I said, read the room, Derek. But yeah, I think he said something about a complex opening up by the fire station, if I'm not mistaken. And he said something about where we could get a house or whatever. And she was like, she don't want to talk about this right now. She's at work and stuff like that. I mean, she got a point, but at the same time, you know, Andre. And what else did she say? She told him that their problems are much greater than just, space and stuff. And I think she said she was gonna talk to him after work. Naomi and Chelsea. Hold on, y'all. Naomi and Chelsea were just talking about Bill and if he ever owned up to what Leslie had said. Naomi ends up going to the office where she finds Ted there or whatever. And I think Bill did say something about he may have said something to Dana back then, but he didn't say what she said. He didn't say what she implied. Hold on. But Bill and Dana. So she came in the office and she had some paperwork in her hand, and he had served her with cease and desist papers for her to stop tarnishing his name or whatever. And she was like, you said what you said. And I was like, well, it kind of looked like he did say what she said. He said, I was expecting him to say, I didn't say that or whatever. He did kind of say that, but he didn't. Hold on. I keep having to pause, y'all. But yeah, he basically said it. He basically said it or whatever. And she was saying, I ain't got nothing to lose. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no job. What tripped me out though? Eva was so excited, y'all, and I'm skipping ahead, but she was so excited. So because it was her birthday and her mama texts her or whatever. She over here talking about Ted. She over here talking about Ted, and that once again, I've been saying the same thing. That's her whole or biggest concern, Ted. But yeah, to finish with Bill and Dana, she once again she was saying, she don't have nothing to lose. She ain't got no job. She ain't got no money or anything like that. So do what he gonna do. And Bill smart. I said the same thing. He told Ted, he called Ted and said he needed to meet him or whatever. And that's when he ends up telling him, what are you planning on doing about her? Because whatever she did, that doesn't compare to what she finna get ready to do. And I said the same thing. I said, right. I said, because she already said it in the other day. That was yesterday, wasn't it? I think it was yesterday. When they was at that diner when she went off on Eva. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that was yesterday. But yeah, she said she wasn't done when she was talking to Jen that she wasn't done. He was telling Ted, you know, what are you planning on doing or whatever. And I think he mentioned something about blackmail. He said something about I don't know if he could sue her or take her to court or whatever because of blackmail. But yeah, she did end up taking the papers with her, and that's where she met up with Eva. And once again, it was Eva's birthday, and she thought her mama was calling her there to celebrate. And she said, we already celebrated your birthday. Then went back. I said, she ain't got no shame. She just selfish. First, she started out, Eva ended up mentioning, wait, I skipped. Let me see. Let me refer to my notes, y'all, so I can make sure I cover everything. Dana ends up showing Eva the paperwork or whatever, and she was like, "What is this?" And she ends up saying, "Like, you know, you should have expected that. After everything that happened with the anniversary party, you should have expected that." And she was like, "I was wondering, you know, you said you want to get back in my good graces, so I want you to talk to Ted." She ends up telling her she's not gonna talk to Ted. She got mad. She got mad again, and she mentioned her birthday. Even mentioned her birthday or whatever, and that's when she still talking about Ted. The whole scene, she talking about Ted. And then once she said she wasn't gonna do what she wanted to do, she got an attitude and she left. She got an attitude and she left. And she went, look, I'm all over the place. She went to Ted hotel room. That's how she know where he stay. How she know she been watching him, and I just thought about that. I said she been watching him. But yeah, Andre Eva, they end up talking. That's when she revealed that it was her birthday, and he told her happy birthday, and he ends up bringing up Nicole and how she's struggling and stuff like that. And she was saying, I think he was trying to see if she was planning on doing anything else against Nicole and Ted, and she was like, she not gonna do anything, you know, to jeopardize what's going on. She mentioned how she spent time with Martin and his family, and also how Ted has been taking care of her and stuff. Um, is there anything else? Hold on, let me see. If it is, we'll just come back to it. Kat and Ted. So Kat ends up going to Ted. Oh, I should have started with this. The role of Ted is now being played by Keith Robinson, y'all. I've seen him in plenty of movies, and he's a good actor. So we'll see how this turns out, though. But yeah, she ends up going to see him or whatever, and she wanted to know how he could just turn to Leslie or whatever. And he just went on talking about how, you know, Leslie was different back then. He mentioned something about she was basically kinder and stuff like that, and how she told him that she was on the pill. And Kat mentioned that to Chelsea, and that's when they started putting two and two together, saying that maybe they planned this entire time. But yeah, she was asking how he could do that to mom, and she also asked, he did okay. Yeah. Give it time. It's just one episode. Give it time. We'll see though. I hate when they introduce real big storylines. Well, I don't want to say real big storylines, but I hate when they introduce storylines like this with the whole blow up with Leslie and Eva and them, and then they switch out the actors or whatever. I hate that. But at the same time, we just gotta give them time, y'all. But what else? She asked if the only reason why he's with still with her mama is because, you know, she was born. And he paused. I was like, he's I don't know that. Maybe it's truth. He also said something about he thought he was in love or he thought he loved Leslie. I said, which is it? Which is it now? I said, But yeah, she was like, you a doctor. Why wouldn't you wrap it up and stuff like that? And he just gave a load of baloney. He just gave a load of baloney, but I don't know. I feel like eventually they'll make up. Y'all know I said people are speculating that Kat is actually not going to be Nicole's. I don't know how they're going to do that, but this will be the first time once again that soap operas have done stuff like this. But they saying that Kat is actually going to end up being Ted and Dana's daughter, and Eva going to end up being Nicole and Ted's daughter or whatever. Then somebody said they don't think that Eva is actually Ted's daughter. I said, I don't know, y'all. I really don't know yet. But once again, I will say, since I've been watching soap operas, they do stuff like that all the time. Stuff don't even be making sense. Stuff don't even be making sense. I was like, now come on now. I said, come on now, that don't make sense. But what else? What else? I think when she went to talk to Chelsea, she said something about she visited her daddy and she confused. Confused. She confused. Conflicted and confused. Confused. But yeah, she was saying how she conflicted or whatever. She having mixed emotions. Um, Ashley and Naomi, we basically already covered them. Jacob and Derek, they was just talking about their relationship and how it's not working out. I think Derek said he already got a mama, and she said she already got a job, and she meant, I think what she meant is that, you know, she be taking care of him or picking up his clothes and stuff like that. Now we get to Chelsea and Kat. Finally, Chelsea and Kat, they were sitting up there. She was talking about her visit with her dad and how, once again she was having mixed feelings about it. That's when they started talking about whether or not it was a setup, that they had this whole thing planned, and then that it wasn't a coincidence that Laura got ran off the road and the job opened or whatever, that they planned this from the jump. I mean, technically they did, and at first I did think that Eva knew about it, but it was confirmed she did not. She did not know about her running off the road. She kind of figured it. She should have found out then. You know what? To prevent all this, she could have found out about it and reported her. I mean, it still would have blew up anyway. Lord have mercy on this, messing up all my words. But yeah, they were sitting up there talking about that. And if I'm not mistaken, Chelsea was the one that said something about Eva Boots. One of them said something about Eva Boots, and I was like, yeah, they gave us a hint, y'all. They gave us a hint. What else did they talk about? I think they started talking about, she was saying how Eva, even if Eva didn't do it, she knew about it. She knew about it or whatever. So she got up and Chelsea was like, where you finna go? So she ends up going to talk to Ted, but he wasn't there. So she ended up texting, and that's when Dana knocked on the door. And then she just let herself in. And Kat was talking to her. Hold on, let me flip. Make sure I'm covering all the notes, y'all. Let me see. Where is it? I guess Ash and Derek are there. Stretch House show. Yeah, that's how I was like, I don't know. Do you think the dude that was in the diner that day? I keep saying that day. I want to assume it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. Do y'all think that's her daddy? I seen some people saying that was gonna be her daddy or somebody that's watching Martin them, that they know about his secret or whatever. But I don't know how true that is, y'all. Yeah, Dana ends up saying, hold on, let me see where I left off at. Eva X Dana. I don't even think I wrote it down. No, I didn't write it down. I'm gonna just have to memorize. Remember. I just be making up words. Oh my goodness. She came in. She walked up in the hotel room or whatever. Hold on, y'all. She came in the hotel. I'm trying to remember, and it was literally the last scene. So how I forget? How did I forget what happened? Do y'all remember what happened? I know she was trying to record her. She ended up asking her about Laura and stuff like that. And then did she see it? Did she see the phone when she was recording? I don't think she seen the phone. But she started implying that Eva was the one that did it. But then she started going into details about, Laura being ran off the road and stuff like that. And that's when Kat was like, that's very specific or whatever. I said, she crazy. You better let her go on about her business before she do something to you next. And I had forgot that Dana had injected Laura with something that made her catch an infection or whatever. I forgot about that part. So that's double attempted murder, ain't it? Look, girl, you going to jail. But yeah, she seemed like she finna get ready to set Eva up, y'all. Yeah, she was. Y'all know how anytime I talk about this all the time. I said they always be like, they'll confront the crazy person or they'll find out that they did something dangerous. Then they'll confront them and then they want to be scared and stuff. But yeah, she definitely looked scared. But at the end of the day, saying she was like, got you. But I was like, what did you get though? She didn't take, I mean, she gave specific details enough for them to investigate and look into it or whatever. But yeah, I definitely feel like she finna get ready. Set Eva up. Especially after Eva told her when she got up before she left the diner or whatever. She said, the Richardsons, it's only a matter of time before they put two and two together and figure out that, what happened to Laura. And I said, exactly. But I don't think you should have told her. She already over here coming after you. She's already over here mad that she won't do what she wants you to do. It was something else about Kat now. What else was it? I know she was recording her or whatever. I think I was saying something about, I don't think she just flat out said Eva did it. She did say, however, she's not going to testify against her daughter. She not, you think I'm going to testify against my daughter? And she told her she didn't have nothing. She said, you ain't got nothing or whatever. And I said, you going to jail. It's only a matter of time before you go to jail. But I think that's everything. Let me look through my notes, y'all, because I just skipped all the way over here. Mona might end up finding out everything and Leslie going to shut up. Right, somebody else gonna get it. That's exactly how I be going too. Somebody else gonna get it. That's what I be saying. I was like, yeah, either she will. I'm surprised they ain't trying to take care of that. Well, I gotta stop saying they because Eva not on the same thing that Dana's on. So I said Dana. I'm surprised Dana ain't been trying to get Kat because Kat been interfering for a long time. That's what she said. She said, you know everything else, or you figure everything else out. What do you think, or whatever? But yeah, Mona might end up being the one. Somebody gonna do it, and she gonna have to take them up out of there. She gonna have to go and take them up out of there. And another thing, if y'all listen to my reviews, General Hospital or anything Tyler Perry or whatever involving crimes or something like that, y'all know what I be asking. Why don't nobody got no doggone cameras? So why didn't they? Did she have on a mask? Remember the day that she injected Laura? Did she have on a mask or was she walking around in just that wig? Can't they backtrack and see her going into that room? Not just that. Shanice seen her face, didn't she? Did she talk to her? But yeah, I said, look, all they gotta do is piece together. But yeah, it looked like Eva finna get ready to be set up, and they just gonna have to clear her name or whatever. And I say it's only a matter of time before the crazy wig lady. It's only a matter of time before she do something else anyway. Look, especially where Ted is concerned, like that's all she care about. But I think that's it, y'all. Let me make sure. Bill told Ted he not putting enough thought into what Dana may do next, and he over here. What else can she do? I was like, dude, what else? You need to be asking what else has she done? We ain't trying to warn. I said, Bill, you smart because you be on the same stuff. You be on the same stuff. But yeah, I don't think I finished with saying Naomi had came in there, and she was wondering what they was doing together and stuff, and she ends up mentioning what happened or whatever. But I think that's it. Oh, I know who else I forgot. Where it is? I guess I didn't write it down. I forgot to look. Look, I'm tripping. Wait a minute. Andre and Ashley. What was they talking about? She ends up revealing that she moved in with Derek and stuff. And he was asking how that was going. She was like, it's going great or whatever. But she was lying. You could tell even by her face that she was lying. Naomi and June. June got pneumonia. That's what I forgot. June got pneumonia or whatever. She in the hospital. In the photo, it had kids in it. And Naomi was asking her who the kids was. And she was like, I think she said she don't know. But I don't know. She said bring her peace or happiness or something. But I say it's them her kids. Like what's going on there? I feel like, and I might be wrong about this. I feel like June gonna be connected to somebody in town or somebody coming to town. But yeah, that's what I feel like now. I'm calling it now. It's either that she's connected to somebody already in town or somebody who gonna come to town. But yeah, she didn't remember who, or she didn't know who was in the photo. Kat and Dana, we already talked about that. Andre and Ted, he was just saying, hey, visit Nicole and she's not doing good. And Ted was talking about how he wishes that she would let him help because he probably the only one that could get her through. I said, you the one that caused it. Now, you might have a point, but at the same time, you the one that caused it. And Cameron said we're in the hospital in 2025. I can see if it was 1925. Right. That's what I be saying. Where the cameras at now? But yeah, then make sure if I say it again that I'm done. Yeah, I think I got everybody this time, y'all. I think I got everybody this time. But that's it. Let me know your thoughts down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, this is have a great rest of the day and be safe.